What's up everyone, Tommy with Studio Sense here. I appreciate you stopping by to check out today's video. Masculine gourmand fragrances are some of the best, most enjoyable fragrances that you can wear and that other people can smell on you, especially during the holiday seasons, during cooler weather. But are they all just made for cooler weather because of their usual darker, heavier base? That's not always the case. In fact, today we're focusing on 7 gourmand fragrances that are not only perfect for cooler weather, but they have a versatility built in that's perfect for any season. We have that and more coming your way, so stay tuned. Welcome back everyone, and welcome to today's video about 7 gourmand fragrances for any season and any scenario. Because let's face it, who doesn't like a good foodie gourmand fragrance? In fact, the word gourmand comes from gourmet, and gourmet of course is like somebody who really appreciates food, the capability to appreciate what's really fine about a great dish, or subsequently a great fragrance. So today's 7 masculine gourmand fragrances have a versatility that's unusual about gourmand fragrances so that you can wear them at any time. The first gourmand fragrance that was formulated to wear during any season is one from Thierry Mugler, and it is Mugler's Angel for Men, or A*Men, as you'll often see if you've ever Googled the fragrance or on many websites. Well, the reason Angel for Men is such a great example of a gourmand fragrance that can be worn at any time is just how brilliantly blended and crafted the fragrance is. Every time that I spray Angel for Men on and I first smell it, such a great experience because it has these little components built into the fragrance, built into the DNA, that are reminiscent of multiple types of foods or multiple types of food types. There's this sharp kind of minty metallic edge to it. There's a definitive chocolate note in Angel for Men, so you get that balance of mint chocolate. But again, what makes it masculine is that kind of lightly silvery metallic aesthetic that's built in. That comes from the amber, the coffee, the musk, the tonka bean, the vanilla, and of course the more modern aroma chemical ambroxan, which gives it's like a helium to a balloon. You know, it inflates, it blows up. Ambroxan causes the aroma to propagate a lot more, to project a lot better. So Angel for Men takes that kind of gourmand, overall masculine scent profile and projects tremendously. One of the best holiday fragrances, really one of the best year-round gourmand fragrances, Angel for Men by Thierry Mugler. What's truly interesting about Angel for Men, and what's a great example of what makes a classic fragrance, is that it was formulated or launched in 1996. And yet when you smell it, you don't sense a kind of age. There's not a specific kind of aroma that dates it, which again is a great example of classic gourmand masculine fragrance. The next great gourmand that has the versatility for year-round wear is a fragrance by Salvatore Ferragamo in the Uomo line. It is the pillar fragrance, Uomo. Now Uomo is a very sweet fragrance. Now because of that sweetness, and a lot of gourmand fragrances of course can lay the claim that they have a lot of sweetness about them, but typically they dissipate over time. This one kind of maintains that heavy density, syrupy sweetness about it throughout the life of the fragrance. So while I'm claiming that this can be worn year-round, of course high heat is to be avoided. And of course you can say that about any gourmand fragrance. High heat's not the way to wear any sweet fragrance. High heat's primarily the realm for citrus-oriented fragrances. However, Uomo has that wonderful tiramisu note, which of course is an Italian dessert whose focus is on cream and coffee. So there's lots of vanilla, lots of coffee built into this. You'll often see coffee as a recurring theme in gourmand fragrances simply because it makes a great aromatic, fragrant note to be used in gourmand fragrances, especially the masculine ones. What helps carry, project, and provide longevity for the tiramisu note in here, there's also orange blossom, there's sandalwood, there's cashmere wood, and of course tonka bean. There's a little bit of a woody aesthetic, creamy sweetness, just a little bit more of an overall masculine dessert fragrance. Uomo is tremendously enjoyable, especially for those of you that have a sweet tooth, but for those of you that don't like sweet fragrances or that shy away from them, you might like this in the dry down a bit more. You just have to give it a try to see. But again, another example of a great gourmand that is very versatile for year-round wear. Uomo by Salvatore Ferragamo. This next fragrance is kind of a surprise entry in these great gourmands that are perfect and versatile for year-round wear. It's actually from Pepe Jeans of London. It is Black Is Now for Him. Black is now, for him, is kind of getting harder to find, and it's just one of those that was an underdog. You know, it came out, nobody really heard about it, but the few that did realize this is a great coffee fragrance, especially a gourmand masculine fragrance. And it's super versatile because, let's face it, coffee is good anytime, anywhere. It doesn't matter whether it's warm, whether it's cool, whether it's spring, summer, fall, winter. Coffee can be hot, it can be iced, so the versatility is built in. But the fragrance itself is a sweet gourmand. It's also got Italian mandarin orange, nutmeg, hazelnut, French lavender, cedar, patchouli, but primarily you're getting that vanilla and coffee note. A little bit of hazelnut. You know, I like a little bit of hazelnut creamer in my coffee, personally, in my espresso. So that's built into this. Very, very wearable for a gourmand fragrance. Black is now for him. You know, sometimes you're more in the mood for a gourmand fragrance that is a bit more youthful and that's less about the food and more about the fruit. One such fragrance that actually takes a couple of fruit and foodie notes, that is pineapple and gingerbread, which you might think is an odd combination, but it actually combines really well in Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Yellow Dream. Valentino, of course, is known for creating long and kind of confusing names for their fragrance, but once you smell this fragrance, mimicking just a bit the Stronger With You DNA, so if you like Stronger With You, you'll probably really like Yellow Dream, but it's just a lighter, more fruity version because it carries that pineapple and gingerbread combination, not only straight up in the outset of the fragrance, but it continues throughout the life. And that pineapple gingerbread combination really is the culmination of the fragrance, just from the beginning to the end, to the dry down. You've also got a strong, creamy vanilla absolute. There's cedar wood for a bit of a woody background, patchouli, of course, some mandarin orange in that open to combine with the fruity pineapple that is threaded throughout the life of the fragrance. I really enjoy this one. It's got a bit of a reputation for being a bit more youthful, but that's perfectly fine. It can be worn by anyone. Again, there's no ageism in fragrance, but if you're looking for a gourmand fragrance, again, that's versatile enough to wear year round, that's a bit more on the fruity side, you might want to check out Born in Roma Yellow Dream. The next great gourmand that has the versatility to be worn in any season, year round, is actually coming up as one of my most complimented fragrances, at least personally for me. And it's always a surprise when I wear this fragrance, just how many people notice it on me. So either I'm overspraying or this has great projection and just the performance is there when you need it. It is an Azzaro fragrance called The Most Wanted. The Most Wanted I've talked about several times on my channel. Again, not even kidding when I tell you that every time I wear this, I get someone. Maybe I just wear it when I'm going to be running errands and I'm going to be around people, and that's why I'm getting compliments. Either way, it's a great compliment puller. Definitely a crowd pleaser. Now, I've heard some reviewers say this smells a lot like Stronger With You. The only similarity really is that they're both gourmand fragrances. You know, they both have this darker, richer, lightly charred, kind of lightly roasted kind of overtone to them, and that's maybe a similarity. But other than that, not much. Best known for that Guatemalan cardamom, that toffee in the heart, and that bourbon vanilla in the base, along with, of course, that Haitian vetiver. Really one of the best examples of a flanker being morphed into a gourmand fragrance, and just doing an excellent job. Azzaro's The Most Wanted. The next great gourmand that has year-round versatility built in is actually one from Hugo Boss in the scent line. It is the Scent Private Accord. What makes the Scent Private Accord such a great fragrance is that use of Manenka fruit. One of the first lines to make use of this very dusty, lightly chocolate, strawberry reminiscent kind of note to be successfully used in a men's fragrance. It kind of takes that dusty chocolate overtone and runs with it. Again, we see that recurring theme of coffee, but in this one, it's a mocha note. So it's got a coffee vibe to it, but more of a creamy, lightly chocolatey kind of coffee. Have you ever been drinking a dessert drink from Starbucks that has caffeine in it and you're like, this tastes so good, I don't even know that it's got coffee in it? That's really what this is like. It's more of a sweet dessert kind of mocha and not necessarily the caffeine, coffee, espresso kind. But it's supremely enjoyable. Again, the overtone of chocolate can't be denied in this fragrance, but it's not so heavy that even those of you out there that may not like chocolate wouldn't be able to wear. Infused with a powerfully motivating ginger that pushes the fragrance DNA forward and can be worn, again, any scenario, year-round. Hugo Boss, the Scent Private Accord. Last of the year-round, any season gourmand fragrances that I'm featuring today comes in the form of a Paco Rabanne fragrance that is kind of unusual. It made an appearance, then disappeared for many years, and came back finally, to the surprise and pleasure of many people, myself included, and that is Paco Rabanne's Ultra Red Man, a surprising light gourmand fragrance. What makes it gourmand is the praline note that is a little bit like a creamsicle note in here, because it's, again, a lightly sweet fragrance. It's got that masculine overtone. It opens with that really refreshing, fruity blood orange. It's got that praline note, tonka bean and patchouli in it, and of course, a creamy, sweet, but very light vanilla. And that's what makes this a light gourmand fragrance and gives it the capability of being worn year-round. For those of you that like gourmand fragrances but shy away from the heavier ones, they feel kind of too syrupy sweet, you'll really enjoy just how pleasant this is, while yet maintaining that masculine gourmand that can be worn year-round. Paco Rabanne's Ultra Red Man. Well guys, that's my brief coverage of these 7 gourmand fragrances that can be worn year-round, doesn't matter the season. You'll find the variety in these fragrances as pleasurable as the versatility. You can't go wrong really with a good masculine gourmand fragrance, and these do not disappoint. If you've got experience with any of these, let me know what your thoughts are about these fragrances, and if you've discovered in your fragrance journey other fragrances that are gourmand, masculine, and yet extremely versatile, let me know what those are in the comments below as well. Thanks so much though for tuning in today, and as always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.